As I said, pomp and pageantry, but what is the purpose? Let's go to LBC's political correspondent, Aggie Chambre, who's at Chequers. Now, of course, if yesterday was all about pageantry, today it probably is down to business. Aggie joins me now. Morning, Aggie.
Good morning, Nick. That's right. I'm standing outside of Chequers, the official country residence of the Prime Minister, this 16th century house in Buckinghamshire, waiting for President Trump to arrive for his second full day of his second unprecedented state visit. His first day saw him serenaded with a carriage procession, a red arrows flypast and a glittering state banquet, organic Norfolk chicken on the menu. It's been all the flattery, all the pomp and all the pageantry that Trump could have dreamed of, which last night seemed to have the desired effect.
This is truly one of the highest honours of my life. Such respect for you and such respect for your country. His Majesty spoke eloquently about the bond which inspired Sir Winston Churchill, and the bust is in the Oval Office right now, the beautiful bust of Winston Churchill, to coin the phrase special relationship. But seen from American eyes, the word special does not begin to do it justice.
Also at the banquet, unsurprisingly, King Charles, who seemed to gently try and influence Donald Trump's position on Ukraine and keep him on side.
Today, as tyranny once again threatens Europe, we and our allies stand together in support of Ukraine to deter aggression and secure peace. Our countries are working together in support of crucial diplomatic efforts, not least of which, Mr. President, is your own personal commitment to finding solutions to some of the world's most intractable conflicts.
I think fair to say we can expect more of that soft diplomacy later today. Yesterday, Nick, also saw 50 miles down the road from Windsor Castle, thousands gathered in central London to protest Donald Trump's visit.
They should be hearing the cheers that so many people are so against it, and yet they're continuing to invite him.
I think he is a bully, and I think we are all sleepwalking into an absolute disaster.
The president seemingly unaware of this. So this morning, I'm waiting for Donald Trump. He's going to leave Windsor Castle and come here where he'll be greeted by the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. This morning, they'll tour the Winston Churchill archives before sitting down for their face-to-face bilateral meeting, which I'm sure they will discuss, among many other things, that extraordinary deal you just mentioned, the record-breaking £150 billion package of US investment into the UK. But I think it's the press conference, it's fair to say, we are all waiting for. That's what could potentially cause problems. Thorny issues such as Peter Mandelson's sacking, the lack of deal on tariffs, free speech and the PM's reported plans to recognise a Palestinian statehood as early as this weekend could derail Sir Keir Starmer's charm offensive and pile pressure on a Prime Minister who is already feeling the heat. The stakes, Nick, could not be higher.
Indeed, the stakes cannot be high, but it was chicken they had last night at that banquet. LBC's political correspondent Aggie Chambre reporting. Sorry if you heard a bit of a background noise, but Aggie is in a slew of reporters, obviously from all around the world, and we'll hear more from Aggie and our team throughout the course of the day. Now, what do we need to see in return? Well, we'll be talking with US TV host David Pollack for a US assessment in just a moment. First, let's go to Joanna Jensen, entrepreneur, investor and author, founder of the skincare brand Child's Farm, joining me now. Joanna, if I may call you that, thank you very much for coming on the show. All the President's men, 1,500 troops, red carpet on the ground, red arrows in the air. What do we need to see in return? Good morning.
Well, I think we've already done the deal. Morning to you, Nick. I mean, 150 billion will do it, won't it? We've done it all. We've laid on absolutely everything. More gold brocade than the largest haberdashers in the world. And we've got the lolly. And that's what we were after.
You're an author. You're an investor. Is there a slightly bad taste in your mouth, or is the King and the Prime Minister and the whole British state and monarchy doing what it has to do? Joanna?
Well, I think it was marvellous what we did in the little land of Windsor, don't you? It was sort of like a hermetically sealed Disney performance. No one could see out of it, just a bore, it rained. Yeah, I mean, look, he said one of the highest honours of my life. I think the UK government, I think the royal family have played an absolute blinder, because no matter what you think about him, he was democratically elected. He's the most powerful individual in the world, and we need some of them US dollar.
Can I lastly just push you a little bit towards the area of growth? Senior business people such as Lord Rose, with whom I'm speaking later in the show, and others are saying that there has been no growth forthcoming, and there's considerable nervousness about the budget, which is, a couple of months, almost to the day actually, a couple of months away. As someone who set up Child's Farm, how do you react? You're a business person.
Well, I'm an investor and I invest in small to medium-sized enterprises, the SMEs, and I am really, really worried. And this late budget is pushing back the inevitable, really. We are very concerned about the lack of investment in the UK. One of my hats is chair of the EIS Association, which is the Enterprise Investment Scheme, which is a government scheme to generate investment. Year on year, these funds are down 19%. People are sitting on their hands. They are not making investments. We need to make it more attractive for our high net worth individuals. We need to stop the drain of cash out of this country. And I'm not sure Ms. Reeves is going to deliver that in November.
And I don't think you're alone, actually, from conversations I've had with various businessmen and women. Joanna Jensen, thank you, entrepreneur, investor, author. Child's Farm was the founder of this family skincare brand. 12 after 7. Let's go to the United States. David Pollack is an attorney and TV host. He joins us from Florida, Orlando. He hosts the David Pollack Show. OK, so we do things big for your president. We managed to find a vintage port that was from 1945, alluding to the fact that he was your 45th and 47th president. We found a cognac from 1912, which is the closest we could get to the birth year of your president's late mother. Does this go down well with Donald J. Trump? Morning, David.
Good morning. Yeah, I think it goes great. Look, President Trump makes no secret. He loves coming over there. He loves the pomp and circumstance. This is the first time a U.S. president has had 2 official state visits. And yeah, I mean, look, we watch it here in the United States. We see the ceremony. It's beautiful. You guys do a great job. And you know Trump loves it. And at the end of the day, Trump's there to make a deal. I'm sure he appreciates the small touches. But at the end of the day, Trump is there to make sure that United States interests are protected. At the same time, he wants to make sure the special relationship between the UK and the United States remains that way. And with the record investment that we just saw come out of the meetings yesterday, shows that Trump is serious about making sure this relationship stays strong.
Let me ask you this, David. Big is beautiful. Is that the key to the president's heart, then?
Wait, but you know, Trump likes to do everything big and gold. Yeah, I mean, everything is big and beautiful, and this deal with the UK is big and beautiful. I mean, look at what 205 billion US dollars, 150 billion pounds, creating almost 8,000 jobs in the UK, technology sector improvements, and all kinds of collaboration. And this was what Keir Starmer laid the groundwork over in Scotland for. And this shows we're following through. It's not just a conversation that's had in a nice golf resort. This is real action. And I think tomorrow, or actually today, it's still very late in the United States. I think later today over there, I think we might even hear some more deals, possibly with Keir Starmer's meeting. I'm looking forward to what comes out of that.
Now, we effectively sealed off part of Windsor to ensure the president's safety, which is absolutely appropriate. But as he goes around, David, it's highly likely he is going to see some anti-Trump demos. There were more than 5,000 people in London. There were a few in Windsor. Is he thin-skinned? Will that hurt him? Or does he just accept that someone with his kind of style is going to attract a fair amount of criticism? David?
Well, I think the one thing President Trump is not is thin-skinned. They say a lot of not nice things about him constantly, and he just doesn't mind at all. But I'll tell you what's funny about those reports about the 5,000 or so demonstrators is you don't hear about the crowds of people lining Windsor streets, waving the U.S.-UK flags. And this is the thing. Every time Trump goes abroad, it seems like the media puts a target on his back and says, oh, we're just going to point out the protesters and make it seem like they don't want you here. They're focusing on Sadiq Khan's comments saying he was a mistake and an embarrassment to show up there, rather than talk about the historic deals and the fact that you saw they're rolling out the red carpet for Trump. He was invited for 2 state visits. They love him there, but the media is going to make it seem as if he's not welcome, and that's the problem.
Lastly, you're an attorney, but you're also in the TV game. You have your TV host, you have the David Pollack Show. I've got to ask you, you guys are going to bed to, we are waking up to the extraordinary news that, well, Jimmy Kimmel, and just to put it in context, one of the biggest names you've got in that particular field of entertainment in the US, he's effectively been cancelled, David. A word on that. You know,
a lot of people, this has been big news today as of a few hours ago, But, you know, his ratings have been bad for a long time. He hasn't been funny for a long time. Late night is basically dead. It's not what it used to be. And so at the end of the day, what's happening is it's just a reflection of ABC realizing that people aren't watching his show anymore. And his comments that he said about MAGA really using this for our own political advantage was just really the last straw. He's not funny. Nobody watches the show. And that's why he's off air.
I love the brutality of the American TV game. There's no holding back. David, get yourself some sleep or whatever you've got planned. David Pollack, thank you, attorney and host of the David Pollack Show.